Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this afternoon, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, as usual, my brother from the same mother. I guess that's the only way he would be my brother. My brother Alex. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, my brother? What's up, people out there? Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a great episode. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Hey, man, quick question for you. Now, relax. I'm not going there yet. Relax.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
You know how much, well, we all do, right? The whole family, like we're just some carnivores, right?
Yeah.
How much do you think a whole cow goes for? Because I was watching, well, I wasn't watching. I saw a photo of a Jimbo Fisher. Is that his name? The coach for whoever in college football?
The head coach for Texas A&M.
Okay.
Football.
Instead of giving us like a football college stat tidbit or something, we get on there. Jimbo Fisher owns an $80,000 cow.
I don't know.
Now, I love meat, but man, that's a lot of money for a cow.
How much does a cow weigh? Like, how much does a normal cow weigh?
So,
because you've done some research.
So half a cow. Well, I don't know. I've bought half a cow, but not necessarily the whole half a cow, right? Like I just bought like just the meat,
right?
And that way,
how much was that?
And that way,
how much did that weigh?
I think that weighed like shit. I don't remember now. Hold on. Shit, I don't remember. 1,200 pounds?
How much?
Could it be 1,200? It's got to be. No, that's too much. How much does a cow weigh?
2,400 pounds.
Okay, so I was right. Half a cow, 1,200 pounds.
$80,000 divided by 2,400. So that's only $33 a pound.
Damn.
Yeah, but
so how does he own?
Because when you buy meat, you don't pay $33 a pound. Even for the best cuts of meat, you don't pay $33 a pound. So that must be like a special cow.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to investigate this Jimbo Fisher cow and, kind of play the detective here and find out how the hell he owns an $80,000 cow.
Now, does he have it like for racing purposes, or does he have it as a pet, or does he have it as food? Like, that's my question, right? If you own an $80,000 cow, are you like raising it so you can turn around and sell it like you're a cattle rancher, or is that like for dinner?
Yeah, no. I would be raising it to reproduce more $80,000 cows because I'm not eating $80,000 dinner.
Well, not in one dinner. That's too much food. But eventually, how much meat do you think you've eaten in terms of dollars in your life? Break it down this year. Like how many pounds of meat do you think you eat in a year?
In a year,
it's got to be like 300, right? Close to a pound a day.
I don't know. That's too much math for me, bro. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I know we eat a lot of meat. I know you do too.
Yeah,
we all do.
Yeah.
I mean, meat and pizza, I can eat 5 days out of the week easily.
I could eat meat and pizza 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Get that goddamn chicken out of here. Fucking
salad.
Chicken nuggets. What am I, 6? Yeah, I don't know. $80,000 sounds like a lot for a cow, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know me.
We'll investigate.
You know me. I like to always break it down into some numbers and, take it to the nth degree, like our conversation about the All-Star game last week, right? So here I
Right.
am, kind of break it down. If you eat 300 pounds, if you eat half a pound of meat every day, which is probably doable because sometimes you eat more, but sometimes you don't. Like when you have pizza, right? You don't eat any meat. That's
Right.
180 pounds a year, right? And it's a 2,400-pound cow.
Yeah.
It'd only take you 13 years to eat the whole thing. Probably less than that because it's got bones and the head and stuff like that. And the ding-a-ling, you don't eat that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could definitely consume a whole cow in less than 13 years.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Easily.
Yeah.
Maybe 13 months.
I don't know about that. That would be almost 200 pounds, 20 pounds a day. No, would it?
So we've consumed, so I'll tell you, we've consumed half a cow in about 8 months. That's how long, like we, you know what I'm saying? We bought a half a cow
Yeah.
and no, I'm sorry. Half a cow was split. So a quarter of a cow
Right.
lasted us around 6 months, 6 to 8 months,
A quarter cow. And how many pounds was it?
300 pounds.
So 300 pounds in 6 months. So that's 50
Yeah.
pounds a month. That's a pound and a half a
Holy
day.
shit. That's a lot. Holy shit.
But
Yeah. I mean,
it's not just you, right? There's four of you.
yeah, but I mean, I steal from their plate and everything. So I'm basically eating the whole thing.
Right. So but out of a pound and a half a day, you're eating like a pound and a quarter.
Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. I share sometimes with my family.
You made beef nuggets and let them have that.
That's right. So, oh shit,
Yeah,
that's a lot of meat.
that is a lot of meat. Shit.
Oh well, live life and eat meat.
Hey, there's worse things to do in this life.
Speaking, you mentioned nuggets earlier. Somebody went and got like a 50 piece of nuggets this morning at Chick-fil-A.
I
Do you
know,
know
I
who that
saw
might
that.
be?
That was awesome. Hey, before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I was I was dead wrong on the Bucks. And this is the part that kills me. This is the part that kills me about being wrong on the Bucks. Earlier this year, before the playoffs, we on this podcast we were talking about the Bucks and how deep would they go in the playoffs. And you said you didn't trust them. And I said, hey, they're a more mature team now. They've been through those trials and tribulations the last couple of years. I think they'll do better this year. But
Right.
then by the time we got to the finals, I forgot all about that. And I went back to there's no way the Bucks are going to come back from being down 0-2. And I'll tell you who I really underestimated. I talked in the beginning of the series about how it needed to be other guys stepping up. It needed to be more than just Giannis and Middleton. It needed to be more than Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Well, at the end of the day, it ended up being Giannis, and it ended up being
Right.
more Chris Paul, right? Chris Paul, I hate to say this, but Chris Paul played terrible the last two games of that series. Chris Paul went from leader to I'm going to defer to everyone else. And I don't know if it's something the Bucks did or if it was him or what, but he really shrunk in the moment. That sounds really bad. I don't mean it that way, but I mean, you know what I'm getting at. And Giannis exploded in the moment and just had some unbelievable basketball games. And even after he had one or two of those, I was still kind of like, whatever. But at the end of the day, look, he was incredible. And Chris Middleton, um, not Batman, more like Robin, but he made some huge shots. He had some Batman-like moments, not just in this series,
Yeah.
but in the championship, in the conference finals against the Hawks. And all kudos to them. I was dead, dead, dead wrong, and I am not going to be like the guys on ESPN that said that the Bucks had no chance, and then today they're still talking about how the Bucks still suck. I don't know if you caught any of that, but I'm not going to be that
Yeah.
guy.
No, I didn't see.
I'm not going to be that guy. The fact of the matter is, I was dead wrong. Giannis deserves all the credit, man.
Well, to your credit, Ed did pick Bucks in 6.
That's right. I did.
You did pick Bucks. That was your initial prediction. So I will credit you that.
But then
I
after
think it
game
was just in the heat.
But then after game 2, I was like, Suns in 4.
Yeah,
Being
you
wrapped up
just
in the moment.
yeah,
Huh?
you just reacted. I don't count that. I count your initial prediction, which I think is what you truly felt, and
Yeah.
you're right. The Bucks won in
Well,
6.
thank
So
thank you, because my predictions during this series was the worst case of Monday morning quarterback. It was that you remember how during football season we were doing Monday overreaction
yeah,
Monday. Yeah, I had overreaction game 2.
that's exactly what that was. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I thought Bucks in 7, but you know, I told you last week the Suns had game 2 where they shot like they made 23s and they only won by 10 points. And I'm like, the Bucks can absolutely hang with this team. And they reeled off 4 straight.
Yeah,
That was kind of surprising to me. Uh so and the Bucks played really good team ball, I think. I think they really shut down DeAndre Ayton. They
yeah.
didn't shut down Devin Booker in game 5, right?
Mhm.
Because he went off. I think he had close to like 40 points,
Yeah,
but they still won that game. The Bucks still won that game. I think they did a good job of forcing Chris Paul to turn the ball over. I think he needed some of that MLB sticky stuff. He was just turning the ball over like,
yeah,
quite a bit.
yeah,
And this this champion. And I'm not going to discredit the whole Bucks team because I think they all played well. They all contributed one way or another. But this was all Giannis because if there's one thing I've learned about this Bucks team is I don't know what I'm getting from game to game with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. I just don't know.
yeah,
And so Giannis has to step up and just kind of take over that game. You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
But you're right.
I
Those
agree.
guys stepped but you're right. Those guys stepped up when they needed to. And I know I just said what I said, but they're they probably don't have they probably don't win in 6 if Middleton and Drew Holiday don't have a couple good games during the series, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing that was impressive about the Bucks, I thought, they did a great job of neutralizing DeAndre Ayton. The matchup with Brooks Lopez is a very good defender, and
He
that
was
helped.
big too.
Huh?
He was big in the series too. He
Yeah,
had a good game.
yeah, exactly. And the other thing is they forced Chris Paul to become rather mediocre. And he couldn't seem to handle the ball. They put a lot of pressure on him up at the top of the key. They did not let him get into the lane. And I think to a certain extent they took him out of his game, and that was kind of it. They let Devin Booker do what Devin Booker does. They knew that one guy wasn't going to beat him. And they had guys step up at times, right? Drew Holiday with a great defensive effort in
Yeah.
Game 5, I believe it was. Bobby Portis, had some really really key moments during the series. So they had
Oh yeah.
different guys step up and do the job. And that's what it takes is a star and guys that are willing to step up in the moment and really clamp down on defense and be there for big shots in the fourth quarter. And the Bucks simply just had more of those than the Suns did.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And man, congratulations to the Bucks, um, because nobody thought they would win a championship. And really credit to this NBA Finals. I know it was 4-2, and the Bucks won the last 4, but I think this was a pretty good postseason, better than what we expected. And
Yeah,
I think this was a good finals, better than what I, at least for me, I'm speaking,
yeah,
better than what I expected. Um, so
yeah.
congrats to them.
I think it's unfortunate that people won't look at it that way because it didn't have a lot of big marquee names, right? It didn't have LeBron James. It didn't have Steph Curry. It didn't have, uh, you know, Kevin Durant, and so
Right.
people will kind of poo-poo it in terms of ratings and in terms of matchups. But yeah, the final series ended up being very entertaining. All of the games were close, all 6 games. There were no real blowouts. Sure, there were big lead swings here and there, but the games really came down to the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and it was entertaining to watch.
You know what? Giannis may sway some people into not thinking what you just said, because I think he showed how likable he can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think and the parody, I think people want the parody, on top of, you know, Giannis. Yeah, but but you don't have an ass who just won an NBA championship. You have
Right.
Giannis, who is, a freak of nature, a freak athlete, who is great, who is good, and is likable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going on Instagram Live and recording
Yeah. No.
his adventure to Chick-fil-A. So
And
I
winning,
think that
yeah, and winning this championship, and certainly if he wins another one, will certainly change the narrative about this NBA Finals not having any stars in it. Um,
uh,
but if he doesn't make it back to the finals, I think as years go by, people will look at this finals and go, "Oh yeah, there was, no one was in that final. That was there was no LeBron, no Steph Curry, yeah." And I think to hardcore fans like you and me, and I'm barely a hardcore fan. Yeah, we enjoyed it, but I do think that when I don't know what the ratings have been, but I'm willing to bet they weren't that good because it did not have the marquee names. And I would I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you have a better take on it than I do. I don't know what people truly want from the NBA because in one breath they say they want parity, and that's what we got this year, and the ratings are not going to be very good when it's all said and done. But then if we get LeBron and Steph Curry, it's like, oh, it's the same teams over and over again.
right,
So I'm not
right.
sure. I'm not sure if that's a marketing issue with the NBA, or is that just NBA fans are just really fickle. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it seems like there's no way to keep everyone happy. There's no way
Right.
to draw in the more casual basketball fans as opposed to just the hardcore fans. It's really difficult to wrap my head around what it is that the NBA needs to do going forward.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that, but like for me personally, I enjoyed watching the Heat go four straight to the finals. I enjoyed watching the Warriors win 3 out of 4. I enjoyed watching the Spurs win whatever 3 out of 5. But I mean, this is good. I think, you know what I mean. I mean, trust me, there's nobody I would have loved more to watch the Brooklyn Nets play and possibly win the finals than me.
Right.
But I mean, being that it's Giannis, uh, and then and they it was a great finals. I think it was a really good finals. I enjoyed it, so I don't mind I like the parody. I think it's good, and
But
I don't know
again,
what the fans want. The fans are the fans. I don't think there's a lot of hardcore fans out there. There's a lot of casual fans, so you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna get uh you're not gonna get parody from them. I think a more invested fan in the NBA in this case can kind of give you a more different
yeah.
perspective, right?
Yeah, but again, like I
So
said, you and I are hardcore fans. That's why we enjoyed this, just like we enjoyed the Warriors streak, just like
yeah,
we enjoyed, other years before that. And so that's why I wonder what is best for the NBA at this point in terms of drawing in those casual fans, right? It's like when we are talking about MMA the other day, right? The hardcore fans going to watch a UFC pay per view, regardless of who's on the top of the bill. But you, the
right,
casual guy, will stop what you're
yeah,
doing on a Saturday night for a Conor
right,
McGregor like star, right? A guy who's
right.
bombastic and not just a great fighter, but out there. And I guess that's my question with the NBA. And like I said in the beginning, I don't know the answer to this. I wonder what's best for the NBA in terms of audience pull, because I hear complaints no matter what it is, right? If it's the Warriors,
Yeah.
oh, it's the Warriors again. If it's LeBron, oh, it's LeBron again. And then when you get a good matchup like this of two teams that have not been there very much, well, haven't been there at all in the last 20, 30 years, then people are like, oh, who cares? We don't even know these guys. So it's like I just don't know what they want. But yeah, you and I are gonna watch. I mean, we would have watched Memphis and the Bullets, right?
Ooh, probably. Yeah. Sadly, probably.
I mean, we probably would have watched the Vancouver Grizzlies, right? We would have watched the Vancouver Grizzlies against the New Jersey Nets. I mean, we'd have watched
Yeah,
anything,
probably.
right?
All right. So, quick question, and this is all opinion. Whoever you think has it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever you think has the crown, but is the crown passed on to Giannis right now? Like, do you crown him the maybe the face of the NBA, or
No,
like
no,
the main guy? No,
no,
really.
no. Look, Steph Curry. To me, Steph Curry is the face of the NBA, right?
Okay.
He's been in the league longer. He's got more All-Star appearances, more championships, and he's still young, right? LeBron, I think the torch is starting to pass from LeBron to Steph Curry. But I mean, you watch Sports Center during the season and you get a whole bunch of Steph Curry. I think
Yeah,
Steph Curry is still the face of the NBA. Um, and as far as the best player in the NBA, man, I don't know. Kevin Durant,
that's tough.
Steph
That's tough.
Curry, Giannis.
Yeah,
Heck,
no, that's tough.
I mean, you could put Jokic in that category. I mean,
I'll tell you what, with Giannis winning now, I think he absolutely is in. I mean, you have to put him up there, like top five. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah, you have to.
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
You have to,
yeah,
especially with a
absolutely.
championship.
I think the
I don't know.
playoffs. I think the playoffs were really the last hurdle he had to get over, because all we've heard the last couple of years is, yeah, Giannis is great. Yeah, Giannis is an MVP, but Giannis can't get it done in the playoffs. But you can't say that now.
Well, look, Giannis is also a two-time MVP. He's also a one-time Defensive Player of the Year, five-time All NBA, five-time All Star, four-time All Defense, one-time All Star MVP, and Most Improved. And I say that to say this: the guy is only 26 years old. I didn't realize that. I really didn't realize that. That's why I asked you the question, because and the fact, and this is one of the things that I like, because I'm not as old as you, Ed, but I'm a little old school. I, you know, I really respect the fact that he chose to sign long term in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He came out and said he didn't want to go anywhere until they brought home a championship, and he did it. And I really respect that, and I think that's what you know. So now when you start to compare, see, so now some people may think, well, LeBron has the crown, right? And when I say crown, I just mean like the best player, the face, you know what I mean,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He's not very likable, right? People get on him, like me, for for jumping to the Miami Heat and then back to the Cavs and now to the Lake. And now you have a guy like Giannis who is so young, has all these accolades, now has the championship, dominated the finals, 60 plus percent field goal shooting, throughout the finals. And he's such a likable guy.
Yeah.
And again, being 26 years old, I'm like, damn. I mean, he's got room to
Oh
he's
yeah.
got room to get better and maybe
Yeah.
win one more or two.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. My comment is he's not the face today. My comment was not he can't be the face.
All
He
right.
is certainly on that path. I think today, the way the league stands right now, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are more the face of the NBA than he is. But
Yeah.
he comes back and he wins another one next year. Shit, I mean,
or
that's
even or even 2 and 3 years, right?
right. Yeah. I mean, if he starts to put together 2 and 3 years, 3 and 5 years, damn, yeah,
Yeah,
and the other thing too is, we have to remember he may have the Yao Ming effect, right? Yao Ming became immensely popular because of the Chinese market. Well, Giannis may
right.
do the same thing with Europe. Like all of Europe may rally behind Giannis and say, this is our guy. He's a European guy, and he may pull a whole continent with him, which would be about the size of China, right? And so
Yeah,
he may have that come his way over the years.
yeah, yeah. It should be interesting, man. I think you know. Uh, Again, his personality, I think, makes it. I think his personality is really great for the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been we've been shoved LeBron James down our throats, and he's not a very he's not totally likable, right?
Yeah.
By some NBA
And
fans.
Giannis comes with
So
no controversy, right? Giannis comes with no
yeah,
controversy. He doesn't get into politics, and he doesn't get into, a lot of the social issues. I mean, he was involved a little bit in the Black Lives Matter thing last year, but I mean, everyone in the NBA was. So it kind of, he didn't do anything super outstanding about it. And so, like you said, the most important thing is super likable guy. I mean, super. Did you see the
yeah,
video with him ordering the 50 chicken minis at Chick-fil-A? For crying out
yeah,
loud, he is Giannis. He
right,
just won the NBA Finals, and he even at that point, he was nice enough to say, "Is it okay if I put you on camera?"
right,
I mean,
yeah,
does it get any
yeah,
more likable than that? I mean,
right.
he's just by all accounts, he's a great guy. I have nothing but nice things to say about the guy. I'm totally impressed with him in this NBA Finals.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Yeah, man. It's sad that the NBA comes to an end, and uh, not the podcast though. The podcast does not come to an end. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You can follow Ed on Twitter at
Montana 21, baby.
leave the baby part out. It's not baby at the end.
Oh no,
It's
yeah,
just
it's
E
just
Montana
Montana
21.
21. If you put baby on the end of it, God only knows what you're gonna get. Where can they get you if they want to follow you?
Well, you can follow the baby of the two at Brooklyn Gaucho One on Twitter.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I don't say this enough, but I don't know how many of our listeners like to gamble. I don't know who's into that. I don't gamble. I watch lines more out of just curiosity than anything else. Like
Yeah.
I don't do a whole lot of gambling. And I don't know what you're doing exactly, but your Twitter is getting better and better with picks. Your picks aren't getting better. Your picks are still, but the content is good. Like I
Oh,
follow,
okay.
I
Thank
follow
you.
several people on gambling Twitter, and you get the guy that's got his stone cold lead pipe lock of the century, of the decade, of the week, shit
Right.
like that. And so you get a lot of fake shit out there, a lot of stuff that's just it's just not it's not even entertaining. It's just dumb, right?
Right. Yeah.
But there are a few cappers out there that are pretty good. I enjoy
Right.
reading stuff, even if I'm not going to bet myself. I've gotten to the point where I can't believe I'm going to say this because I've never pictured you as much of a writer. I enjoy reading your stuff. The only, the
Thank
only,
you.
the only tagline I don't like, because I think I don't know why, I just don't like it. Scared money don't make money. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Hey, man.
I mean, I know what you mean by it, but I kind of don't get it. So anyway,
I hear you. Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I enjoy. You know what? As much as we've talked about it before on the podcast, I'm not an analytical guy, right? Like
you're
but that's what.
anti-analytics.
Yeah, but that's kind of what sports betting is, right?
Yeah,
It's pretty much filled with numbers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Go figure.
it's funny that a guy who's an anti-analyst, antanalist,
Here we go with the words.
yeah, He likes to mess around with numbers. It's kind of interesting. And look, like I said, I never took you for a writer, but some of the shit you write when you break stuff down, it's really good. Like it's good not just in terms of the content, but like even in terms of grammar.
Yeah, it's not my best, I know, but when
Which
it comes to money,
that in and of itself, I find very, very interesting. I've often thought you have a ghostwriter.
I may.
Hey, whatever works, right?
That's right. That's right.
Um,
So yeah, well, if you want to follow my picks aren't great, but they're good from big, from time to time. Just follow the Gaucho on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho One. Damn it.
yeah, absolutely. And if you want to catch this show, you can catch it on YouTube, Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, whatever podcast platform you choose to consume your podcasts. Um, we just got through the All-Star break. I don't want to talk a whole lot of baseball. All I got to say is the MVP race is over. All right. My guy leads the league in home runs. My guy was the winning pitcher in the All-Star game. My guy is just greatness personified. He was in the greatest single round of the home run derby. I mean, come on. A double overtime bonanza. I mean, the guy's the greatest.
Yeah, but my guy hit the pretty much the go-ahead game-winning home run in the All-Star game.
Yeah, but look, if Ohtani doesn't pitch that shutout inning in the first, it doesn't matter.
My guy is hitting for a higher batting average.
Batting average is for suckers. Chicks dig the long ball.
True. I'll tell you what, man. By the way, what Ohtani did at the All-Star game between the home run derby, pitching and batting, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. We're gonna revisit this MVP conversation come at the end of the year because I really believe it's gonna come down to these two. I really pray that they stay healthy. I'm really concerned about Ohtani. I really am because the human body is just not used to doing this. It's just not, right? Like it's not normal.
Your human body's not used to doing this. Ohtani's been doing this since he was a little kid.
True. But I really think this AL MVP race is going to come down to your guy and my guy at the very end.
Yeah, look, and all joking aside, it's going to be. I mean, there's no one else to talk about in the American League, and in fact, the National League MVP race is probably not much of a conversation either. I kind of don't care. What these two guys are doing, and I mean, I joke a lot about Vlad, but what these two guys are doing it's sensational. And I'm like you, I am keeping my fingers crossed that neither one of them gets injured, that they play out the entire season, and that we get to see two incredible seasons play out. And unfortunately, one guy not get the MVP. But I mean, hey, look, if they play out the season, we may end up with co-MVPs.
Yeah, very well could. I think it's going to come down to the Angels don't look like they're going to make the playoffs. The Blue Jays more than likely will. But then you have they're in I think they're in the wild card right now. Right? Like they're playing that playing game.
There's 7 games out in the East. And
but the wild card.
They would not make I don't think they would make the wild card. Hold on. Let me look.
No? Okay.
No. In fact, they're 4 games out of the wild card.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they okay. All right. So I stand corrected.
Now, that's the case. The Angels are 7.5 out in the wild card. But Mike Trout should be back soon. So that could help a lot. But yeah, right now, both of those teams look pretty far out of it.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I have no doubt Ohtani gets it. Because I thought the Blue Jays were like in the mix.
Right.
Because in that case, then, maybe that may sway some votes, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now,
But
on the other side, if Trout comes back and gives that team a lift, that's going to eat up some of Otani's votes.
I
It
don't think
should,
so.
it shouldn't. Hey, between you and me, it shouldn't, right?
Yeah,
We're smart
I
enough
don't
to
think so.
know.
Right,
We're smart enough to know that the guy's missed 45 games this year. He can't be
right,
in the MVP conversation. But the fact of the matter is, he will get some because he
yeah,
is Mike Trout.
right,
If it was
yeah.
Rendon, it'd be a different story, right? But when it's Mike Trout, you know, the consensus best player in baseball, he's going to steal a few.
Man, you have to you have to wonder what the Angels front office is thinking, right? I mean, you have this generational player in Mike Trout, right? You've had him for 10 years, 10 seasons, 11 seasons.
Yeah.
He's got like the highest WAR of all time. I mean, his numbers are, well, we already know, right?
Right.
I mean, like you have a decent offense.
I'll tell you what they're thinking. God damn, we could use some pitching.
Well, I mean, what's taking so long? They could have used pitching 5 seasons
Yeah,
ago.
I
I
don't.
mean,
I have
I don't
never
know.
understood. I've never understood what uh what's going on with them. I've never understood that organization. And look, was it a good move to go out and get Otani a couple of years ago? Obviously, it was. Is it a good move to go out and sign Rendon? Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, can you have spent some money on the pitching?
Here's the question you didn't ask. Did they hold on to Pujols for too long?
Yeah, they probably did, but let's let bygones be
That could
bygones.
have freed up that could have freed up some money right there.
Yeah, yeah, but
It
it's just
wasn't making no jump change.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's baffled me that that a team with a generational player like Mike Trout has not been able to be more successful, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a real shame because that guy is, he's not Tatis. He's not gonna make a name for himself marketing wise. But if he was on a team that was, consistently making the playoffs, like Boston or Tampa, even Tampa Bay, right? Um,
Yeah.
the Indians had a run. Um, the Braves are having a run. The Cubs, right? The obviously the Dodgers. If he was on any of those teams where he was in the playoffs for 5, 6 years in a row or whatever, yeah, you got to wonder how popular that guy would be. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think it'd be really good for the game.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be able to have your best, right? Your the face of Major League Baseball in the playoffs, right? In the postseason, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly the World Series, and we don't get to see that.
Yeah, it's a darn shame. Well, that's the way it goes. Um, you got anything else?
Major League Baseball. I don't know. Do we?
I don't have anything else. Are you going to Tokyo to watch the Olympics?
Uh, no.
They're not going to let you in anyway.
I know. They're sending people back probably. Are they going to finish the Olympics?
I'm the more I hear about what's going on in Tokyo, the more I think they're not going to make it through 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of
Yeah.
games. I mean
Is that how long they are?
well, they started this morning, right? So today's
Oh,
Wednesday, but the opening ceremonies are on Friday, and it goes 2 weeks after that. So that's 2.5 weeks.
okay.
So it's a
Okay.
total of about. It's going to be a total of about 17 days. I don't. I don't think they're going to make it. I mean, the way I hear things are going, it does not
Yeah.
sound good. And like I don't know what it's like in Japan, but it may become a bit of a political struggle where a guy to save his political career may say, we gotta ban it, we gotta stop it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you do then. Do you just transport everyone to, I don't know. What other place has Olympic facilities that are relatively new? I guess London, right? They had the Olympics in 2012. You don't send them back to Rio. They had them in 2016, but Brazil is bad.
You think they would do that?
I don't
Like
know. I mean, I don't know
move the
what else.
Olympic,
I don't know what else you do. Like, what do you do?
just send everybody home.
Yeah, but the
Go
IOC.
home.
But here's the thing. That seems like the most reasonable thing to do.
Yeah.
However, the IOC exactly. And here's the thing. The IOC doesn't make money off the ticket sales. They don't care if fans show up. They don't make they don't make site fees. It's not like Japan paid a bunch of, I mean, they probably did under the table, but they didn't pay a whole bunch of money to get the Olympics. That's not where the IOC is making their nut. They make their nut off of what's on TV, the TV
Hmm.
rights around the world. So if Japan,
Right.
if Tokyo says after 5 days, right, cut, no more Olympics, the IOC is going to be like, you mean to tell me let's just use use round figures, 2 weeks, right? And after a week they say cut it off. They're not going to take half of the TV revenue and go, oh well. they're gonna
Yeah.
want to do something, because my guess
Right. Yeah.
my guess is the cost of moving the Olympics, of transporting all the athletes to another venue, let's say China, right? Let's say Beijing, which is relatively close. The cost of doing that would be far less than half of their TV revenue. So
Right.
I think I think if Tokyo does that, I think there's a chance that they may move it someplace else. I I can't imagine that they have not thought about this. Look, if the two hosts on the Positive Sports podcast have thought about this, trust me, some guy at the IOC has thought about it. And
If not,
if they have not, reach out to me on Twitter at eMontana21. We can talk about different ideas about how to still have the Olympics during a pandemic. Just hit me up. I'll work with you.
we want in on the committee.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I mean, because we have more ideas, but we're not going to say them all right now. We just
Oh
gave you
yeah.
one in case you didn't think about it.
That was just a small nugget to show you that
Yeah,
we
that's
have
an
ideas.
appetizer. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was a taste.
yeah.
Ooh, that tastes good. Let me get another bite of
If,
that. You're gonna have to
if
hire
you
me.
want some more of Ed and Alex's philosophies, hit us up, man. We're here.
Here we go with the philosophies. Yeah. Like I said before, I'm a philosophist. And for the right price, Mr. IOC, you can have this philosophist on the payroll.
That's right.
Dude, I would be on any committee, any put me on the mascot committee, because I'm sure every single committee member on every single committee gets a little something under the table, if you know what I mean.
Just a little shun.
So, a little something to share the philosophy.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, I am going to put a stop to this show right now before we release too much information to the IOC. And we're going to come to the
That's
end of
right.
another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. As always, folks, we appreciate you watching, listening, subscribing, liking, commenting. You can email us at the show, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. Like Alex mentioned, you can get great capping advice. And if you don't know what capping is, it's for gambling purposes, folks. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1. And if you want my philosophies, all you got to do is hit me up on Twitter at eMontana21. As always, folks, ignore the negativity, be the positivity.
Peace.